Okay, so I have these two spools of 1 inch thick polyethylene tubing I'm going to use for my irrigation. I want to take these apart and straighten them out. I've never done it before. So I've read someplace, I couldn't find any videos online, but I read somewhere that if you put hot water into the pipes, into it, that it works, that it makes it much easier to take apart and straighten out. So what I'm going to do is I put this fern coat fitting on here. I mean, obviously this is not made for pressure. This thing is probably either a 3/4 inch or 1 inch fitting. I'm not sure. I'll look and see what it says. It's a 1056.075, so I guess it's 3/4 of an inch. And I took this 1/2 inch plug and I put it in there. And obviously, this is not going to hold any pressure. I'm not planning on it. I just want to keep the water in the pipe long enough so that it's the hot water so that I can stretch this out. I have one of these fittings. I got this Home Depot. This is what eventually I'm going to put the sprinkler. This is 3/4 inch by 1 inch. And then I have this also at Home Depot. This is a MIP male pipe thread to garden hose adapter. So what I'm planning on doing is taking the hot water from the hose in my washing machine, putting this orange hose as an extension up there. First I'm going to run the washing machine so it gets nice and hot. I'll put this hose, attach that, so now I can work out here. And I only have to put a small crack in the door in my house. And then I'm going to screw this into the male pipe thread side, like this. Attach this to the other end over there. What I should do is take this off until water starts coming in and then put it on. So I might make it loose. I'm not going to put any kind of clamp over here because honestly, I would like to reuse this. Okay. Starting to get hot now. Okay. Now it's hot. All right, so what I'm going to do is turn this off, turn the water off. And then I'm going to attach this to this. All right, so now I'm going to put this on low. Like I said, I don't need it flowing out really hard. Okay. See what happens here. So unfortunately, that's the end of the audio, and I'm a little bit hoarse. I have a wireless microphone, and it crapped out. So I got the rest of this video I'm going to try to do as a voiceover. So this is actually the second tubing I'm doing. The first one I did with a fern coat. It worked, but it was a little messy. So I'm showing you one without. It actually worked really well. So what I did was I just cut apart all the plastic, and I'm attaching that 3/4 to 1 inch coupler that I attached to the garden hose. You can pick that up at Home Depot. It just pushes in. If it was being done on an actual sprinkler, you would put a clamp on there. But since I wanted to pull this back out, no clamp. So you can see I just shoved that in there, and then I'm going to run upstairs to the laundry room. And what I actually did that worked out the best is a pretty decent flow of hot water. At first I was doing it fairly lightly, but I turned the hot water on a good medium flow. That lets enough water flow through the tubing to really heat it up enough to unravel it and let it stay the way it is. It certainly helps if you have somebody put their foot, or if you're able to put a heavy weight, or even drive your car onto, I wouldn't drive my car, maybe like a lawnmower or something, onto where that orange pipe meets the black poly pipe. So I had my daughter come out, and I let her kind of hold it in place. So what that does is it gives you a starting point from which to unravel the rest of it. So as I'm talking here, the water, the hot water, is going through the 100 feet of poly tubing. It hasn't actually gotten to the end yet. So this is the best way to really do it. If I had a spool to just unravel it, so I'm basically unraveling it right now as the hot water is going through. It's kind of a race, because if the hot water comes out the other end, then it's scalding hot water and it's gonna go right onto me. But obviously, it's not gonna kill you. It's a little bit of hot water. Just be careful. So what this does, it lets you unravel. It actually stays where you put it. If you have really hot water and you kind of twist it and pull, this is what you wind up with right here. So there's the poly pipe. You can see both of them. There's the one next door to it. So it's just sitting there right now. I believe there's still some water going through it, and it's hot. You can actually stretch it, and you can kind of, any kinks that are still in, you can kind of straighten out. But it really worked. I mean, whoever's idea this was, I appreciate it, because it made my life much easier. Our driveway's on a little bit of a hill, so it actually helped a little bit, because the idea is to get the pipe full of hot water. You don't want it coming out the end. And my daughter just turned off the water. And that's it. I'm going to pull the black the blue connector off the other end. I'll let the water drain out. But that's it. It stays like that. Right now, both of those are under my deck, waiting for me to finish the project. But the fiasco of taking them and unraveling them was not a fiasco.